Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a really different type of video. It is going to be a sit down talk with me, a chit chat video. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty nervous because I don't really do these type of videos often. I'm really just trying to find like the best way to communicate with you guys these little random thoughts and blurbs that I have been meaning to talk to you guys about. So the main topics that I wrote down that I want to talk about today are things like my YouTube channel, why I stopped putting out a lot of makeup content, things like my Instagram, why I haven't been doing a lot of makeup content on there, why I have been posting more revealing photos, why I have been showing more skin, etc. Things that I've just noticed will get commented on a lot, and I just kind of want to sit down and really just talk to you guys and be open as to why you have seen a lot of different changes within my content. I'm just gonna feel like I'm talking to a friend like that. It'll be easier for me to communicate things with you guys because I do feel like on the internet, although I do share a lot, I still have a lot that I don't share, if that makes sense. There's still a lot to me that I don't share. To kind of give you guys a background on myself, because if you've never been across my channel, you might be like, what the hell is she talking about? Or if you're brand new here, you might be confused. But if you've been subscribed to me for a while, or you've been following me on Instagram for a while, you'll kind of know where I'm coming from. My YouTube channel has really primarily always been makeup. I did start it years ago actually. I started it when I was on Tumblr, and I just started like a regular YouTube channel. I just opened up an account. But as far as taking it more seriously and uploading regularly, I want to say it's been about 2 years. And my main focus was always makeup. I would do a lot more makeup tutorials. I would do looks based off music videos, based off celebrities, and this was during a time where growing in the beauty community was very, very easy. When I started taking it more seriously, I knew that I wanted to take YouTube seriously as a job. So I did enjoy it. I never hated it or anything. I always liked YouTube. I will say one of my more main passions, or something that I enjoy more, is Instagram, just because I feel like for me it's always been funner to take a photo and look at the lighting and look at the colors and the outfit and the makeup choices in a photo than so on YouTube. I have been on the internet for a pretty long time. I made a Tumblr. If you guys don't know what Tumblr is, it was a website, it was a blog actually, where you could share things with people. You could share images, music, videos. It was a big online social media platform. And I started that when I was 15 years old. It's still there. My Tumblr is hello/Alva. It's still there. It still exists. And I was 14 to 15 years old. I didn't start it with any intentions ever on thinking that I was going to somehow make a living off of it. It was literally just something that I stumbled across, and I was like, this is fun. And me and my cousin was with me. We made our Tumblrs, and I started posting photos on there. And little by little, I guess I grew a following because of that. But I also would post a lot about my life. It was fun. I would do Q&As, and sometimes for shits and giggles, I would open up the anonymous thing. I would have the anonymous questions open, and it was just a lot. Tumblr literally felt like internet high school, if that makes sense. And it was just a lot of fun. I made a lot of friends on there. But that was my first introduction to coming and sharing a little bit of me and a little bit of my life online, and I found a passion for that. I feel like I have more of a passion for sharing things on a platform like that than so much YouTube. And I think I've come to realize that the reason why I steer away from sharing a lot on YouTube is because I feel very vulnerable on it. I feel like I'm talking to a friend. So yeah, I've come to the conclusion that I'm a pretty personal person, and although I do like to share a lot on the internet, and you guys know things like Ruben, my husband, you guys know people in my life like Nelson, and just maybe even my sister off Instagram and stuff, and friends. You guys probably see me snap sometimes with friends. I don't think I could ever be a daily vlogger or have kids and be a daily vlogger like that, although I think those vlogs are super entertaining and I love watching daily vlogs. I don't think I'm made for that. I think I'm a little bit too anxious for that. I'm a very anxious person. That's something, there's just a lot of elements to, I guess, my life and myself that I like to keep private. I don't share everything on the internet, and I think that sometimes that's something that people who follow you don't realize, that you don't share. I do, at least, don't share everything on the internet. And I think it's because you follow someone for such a long time and you see a lot of what they do share, that you think they're bound, that you think that's kind of everything. But the truth is, a lot of us don't share everything, and I know a lot of people do show a lot, So I've just realized that I'm one of those who I will never be okay with sharing everything. My main content was primarily makeup. And during that time, it was pretty easy to grow with makeup content here on YouTube. It wasn't really hard, if that makes sense. You could do a look based off a celebrity, you could do a look based off a music video, you could do a look using drugstore makeup, using Kylie Cosmetics, and you would get a reasonable, pretty good amount of views. It didn't matter if you were a really small creator, if you were a really big creator. Now it's gotten to a point where the beauty community and the makeup community on YouTube and on Instagram too, it's very tricky, it's very interesting, and I mean this with all respect. I mean this more from a business perspective. I'm not talking about this in a personal way. But there's like your big fish on YouTube, and there's your really big influencers who are basically like mini celebrities, if that makes sense. And then you have like the medium people, if we're talking like numbers and whatnot. And then you have like your smaller creators, and it's gotten to a point where I know a lot of smaller creators who can't grow anymore, like here on YouTube or on Instagram. Their numbers have been stagnant. It's been really hard for them to get growth or to get discovered or curated. Curated means when, like, let's say YouTube or Instagram will like get your content and showcase it on like the featured or the suggested. That's kind of, or the popular page on Instagram, for example, or when you go to hashtags, it'll be like the first one. That's kind of what curated means. So there's a lot of smaller creators whose content just doesn't really get curated anymore, and a lot of the people that are like in the middle, they're kind of lost in the sauce in all of that. It's been kind of hard to grow, specifically with makeup. So as this YouTube is like my job, essentially, it's one of my jobs, that is something that I look at. So for example, you have a really big influencer, let's say creating a makeup look using Kylie Cosmetics, and then you have, let's say, a small creator doing the same thing. It's kind of hard now for that smaller creator. We don't know why. When I say we, is I mean this is something that is often talked about on Twitter and on Instagram, and us, a lot of content creators, don't know why it's just not the same anymore in aspects of growing, or when we're talking about just getting seen, or literally growing in numbers. It's just stagnant. And I'm also very honest with myself. I know that I'm not like this badass biatch when it comes down to makeup. I know I'm not like, bad bitch number one. And I'm not gonna have like the dopest tutorials and the dopest reviews. The truth is, there's people that do it better than me, and regardless if they're bigger than me or not, it's just I've noticed that I haven't really been receiving a lot of engagement when it comes down to my makeup content, and it's just something that I slowly was noticing. And in the mix of all that, I started losing weight, and that started to get a lot of people's attention too. And hey, can you do videos, and can you tell us like what has worked for you, etc. So I was like, okay, let me start doing some of this. And in the mix of that, I started to feel more comfortable in my clothing, and okay, let me post more OOTDs, and okay, you guys, I see you guys like OOTDs, like let me continue doing it, let me do hauls. And it kind of just happened. I stopped posting a lot of makeup content because I started noticing that it just wasn't really doing well, and there was other things that you guys or other people that followed me were interested in. But I know that in the mix of all of that, there's still a lot of people that followed me for makeup. I will always continue to do some type of makeup post, some type of makeup video, because at the end of the day, I will always love makeup. That is one of my number one passions, is makeup. So you'll always see it. I love sharing it. I love talking about it. But it's just, I can't be dedicating myself to doing so many videos concentrated on makeup when it's not what people, or it's not what's getting views for my channel for me to make a living, basically. Nobody really knows what happened. It's something that's like speculated a lot. Platforms like Instagram and YouTube don't really, I want to say they probably don't really know either. I like to think that algorithms made a really big difference in how you see things and what you see, obviously, on your timeline. And just in general, like the beauty community, the way it has changed a lot. I think a lot of people have lost interest in watching new people. I think that there was a growth spurt. During that time, that's when I grew on Instagram, like extremely fast. I was growing about 1,000 to 2,000 followers a day. Everyone was growing pretty good, during that time on Instagram. A lot of my friends that were putting in the work, you basically just had to put in the work. During that time, I want to say like 2015, and you would grow. Now in 2018, you could be putting in a whole bunch of work and you still might not get seen, And this is coming from someone who, I want to say, like, I'm pretty in the middle on my Instagram. If we're talking number-wise, I'm not like 4 million or anything. I wouldn't consider myself a big fish. But, I understand that I had a lot of growth because I went in during that perfect time to grow on Instagram. As far as YouTube, I really don't know what was going on YouTube. I really don't know what it was. I just know that like for me, my content, makeup just doesn't really do well. For Instagram, I feel like the algorithm and just a lot of things in general had to do with it. I think the makeup community, it's just like going through something as far as for the content creators and also probably for the viewers too. I think it's just, you have like really big influencers who, like I'm saying, they're like mini celebrities now, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like all about them, because I know there's a lot of people that watch a lot of different people, but like for the big companies like Benefit and Tarte and let's say NARS and Smashbox, I want to say that it primarily feels like the beauty community happened and like admittance was closed. Like, you know, like private schools or like schools, like admittance is closed and no one like could really join anymore. I want to say that's kind of what it feels like from like being in the inside. I have a lot of friends who want to do YouTube and want to do Instagram, but they feel so discouraged, and it's so discouraging when they post and they don't grow. And it's just, it's a time now where there's so many people doing it. So the people that were in the middle kind of got lost, and the smaller people, it's even harder for them to get noticed. So it's just kind of in shambles. If we're talking about just the beauty community, it's kind of just in shambles, you guys. So it's just kind of an interesting field, niche, let's call it that, genre to go in if you're trying to do social media as a job. And I say that openly not because I feel like there's a lot of people who come on social media now to work, and it's something that we could talk about now openly, you know. During the mix of it, because it's still going, I lost weight, and I didn't lose weight for the internet. I didn't lose weight for the, oh my god, I didn't lose weight like to show it. As a matter of fact, I was really quiet in the beginning about my weight loss. I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want to like be vulnerable, if that makes sense. I don't like being vulnerable. Like videos like this are really hard for me to do. And I didn't want to be vulnerable during my weight loss, so I kept it a secret. But obviously, not a secret, but I kept it to myself. Obviously, as it started happening and as I started to lose more weight, people started to notice. So that's when I started to share more about my weight loss journey, what I was doing. I want to say I was a good like 15 pounds down before I started to like, hey guys, I want to lose weight type of thing. So once I was like 15 pounds down, I started to make videos and I started to lose more weight, you know, and it got to like, not a point, but I'm at a point now where I'm pretty comfortable with my body. So I thought, okay, let me go ahead and do more videos on that. And obviously with weight loss, if you were someone that wasn't comfortable with your body, you're more comfortable now. I started posting more OOTDs. I started posting more full body photos. If you're someone who's like uncomfortable or has ever been uncomfortable with your body, you'll kind of understand like the pressure of taking a full body photo sometimes is a lot. And you want to get a right angle and you're scared you're gonna look too big and this and that. And when you finally like are comfortable with your body and you could just have someone take a photo of your outfit and it's not this huge thing, because it would just be a big thing for me. I had to like try and get a flattering angle and etc, etc. And when you get to a point where you're just like, take a photo of me, like it feels a lot better and you start wanting to do it more. And then when, you know, my following or like you guys started to like my OOTDs and it was like more requested of me, I started to do, you know, haul videos and more fashion related videos and fitness related videos and those type of posts. So it slowly stopped being makeup, and I think to some people it was like, well, it's all about her body now. And it wasn't so much that it was all about my body in a vain way. It was more so like, oh, this is what people want to see. People want to see outfits. They want to see fitness things from it. But I could see how it goes from like just makeup to, oh my god, your body. And then there was the whole thing with like my boobs, and I lost my boobs. I had boobs, you guys. I lost weight. I lost my boobs. So I got a boob job, and obviously I felt even more comfortable on my body because having really like tiny deflated boobs, in my opinion, that's what my boobs look like to me, was something else that I was not used to and something that I, you know, wasn't like happy with. And to me, getting my boobs in was almost a gift from me to me for being able to like, you know, get to a healthier place in my life with my body and be more comfortable with my body. I feel like I became kind of misunderstood in the sense where people are like, you just always want to show off your body. And it's like, it's not that I just always want to show off my body, it's that I'm showing you guys my outfit, and I happen to have a little bit of cleavage now. I'm doing a workout video and maybe you're seeing a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more of my body. In general, it is, here is more of my body, but it's not in the way that I feel like some people think it is. And I know most of you guys get me, and I get most of you guys understand that I'm just trying to share. I'm not trying to be vain. And I appreciate you guys so much for that. I just felt like I kind of wanted to come on here and share that with you guys. You know, I'm in a place where I feel comfortable with my body, and when you feel more comfortable with yourself, I feel like you feel more open to share something with someone. Recently I did like 2 swimwear hauls, so therefore I took photos also while I was in the swimwear hauls. So I took photos and I uploaded them, and I just feel like it's different for people to see me like that, if that makes sense. I think people are surprised, but I've always been a little bit wild, if we shall say. I've always been a little bit wild. I know that I got married young, and I know that to some people I could come off really like conservative, but I don't want to say I'm putting up a front, but I have sides to me that are a little bit more wild that I don't really show on the internet, that sometimes in weird ways you see it, and I think some people get shocked and they're like, oh my god, your husband, like, what would he think? And it's like, my husband knows me very well, and my husband likes me like this. Like, it's nothing new to him. I did post revealing photos when I was thicker, when I was bigger. I just wouldn't post it a lot, if that makes sense. But they're there. Like, I could pull up receipts and get them. I mean, I was on Tumblr and I was participating in Topless Thursdays or Topless Tuesdays, whatever the hell they were called. And I was talking about sex on Tumblr. Like, I have a pretty wild site that you might see like on Twitter, or that you might see like on my private Instagram. I curse a lot. Like, I smoke weed sometimes. I drink. I get fucking wasted sometimes with my friends. Like, me and Ruben are not these, we're not like conservative. I like to put out content that I like, if that makes sense. So, you know, I do put out makeup content. Like, even if it gets like 0 fucking likes, I'm still gonna do it, you know. But sometimes when I post like bikini photos and stuff, I'll get those comments that are like, why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. And it's like, I know I don't need to do this. I'm very aware I don't need to do like anything on the internet. I think sometimes people forget that, at least me, I'm comfortable with shutting shit off. I'm being like, I'm gonna go get a job. Like, I'm gonna go, you know, apply at some places. I'm comfortable with that. I'm okay with doing that. But I genuinely, and sometimes I think about it because I feel like it would be a lot less stressful. I'm not saying those jobs are not stressful, but I've had those jobs and I've had being working on the internet, and they're both stressful in their own different ways. Let me say that. They're both stressful in their different ways. And sometimes I miss like the dealing with people and having to come home late at night, or having to wake up really early and clock in stress, than the having to deal with this and that, or having to deal with like people judging your life, or like your other family members having a say on your, you know, like the type of photos you post. Because it's not just random people on the internet. Sometimes it's family members talking about you too, and you guys might know what I'm talking about. There are different levels of stress. I also feel like that could be inspirational for some people, because I know that some of you guys have followed me through my journey, and I know that some of you guys see, you know, photos of me, like, let's say in a bathing suit or half naked at an Airbnb having a photo shoot, and you guys are like, oh bitch, you've come a long way, like, we're proud of you. So I get both sides, if that makes sense. I understand, you know, the people that are conservative and, you know, they see these photos and they're like, what is this girl doing? But to those people, I tell you guys are not, and I say this in a really nice way, you guys don't have to follow me. There's a lot of people on the internet you guys can follow. But really, like, I am a feminist, and I do feel that women should be allowed to show their bodies when they feel like it, wherever they feel like it. I think it's kind of unfair that you see a girl post a photo in a bathing suit or half naked in lingerie, let's say, on a bed on her Instagram, and people get alarmed about that. But then you go in a mall and you see Victoria's Secret models have naked plastered like everywhere. Or you like open up a magazine, you open up Maxim, and it's a girl like, you know, sexy in a bathing suit, like on the beach. And okay, just because she's a model, like, she gets a pass. Like, no, we should all be allowed to showcase our body. It's not always automatically for men, and not all husbands have a problem with it. Some husbands, on the contrary, really like it. Ruben has said before that he didn't marry a nun, and one time I sent Ruben a photo, and it was like the sexy photo, and you could like see my cleavage, and he posted it on his Instagram without even asking if that was okay. He just posted it. It wasn't like a nude or anything, but it was a sexy photo I took for him, and he liked it so much that he posted it on his Instagram. So no, he doesn't have an issue with it. Like, I hate having to repeat myself, but I understand that it's something I get asked a lot. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about my YouTube, my channel, Instagram, my content, you know, my fitness stuff, my revealing photo stuff. I don't know what to call it, my fashion posts. But yeah, like, best believe when winter comes around, I'm gonna be like cold as hell posting in my hoodie and jean posts, you know? It is what it is. I hope you guys like my content, and I still feel like, how do I say it? I feel like I'm for me, the internet is a place where I could just be creative and test stuff out and have fun with it. I don't feel like I have to be in a box or I have to have a niche. So I'll probably try like other challenges. I've been doing more mukbangs on here. I find those a lot of fun now. I like to just have fun with my content and try other things. There's a lot of things that I have interest in that I don't mind, like just randomly doing a video on it and seeing, you know, how it does, or posting it on Instagram. I understand people are always going to have something to say. I always get that, but I like to hear people out. I do like sometimes go out and have a social life, and I usually don't share it. I don't really talk about like my friends or stuff like that, but I feel like maybe a few vlogs would be fun and just kind of see how you guys like it. Let me know if that's something that interests you. Whatever you guys genuinely want to see from me, or if you guys have an idea for me, feel free to drop it down below. If you guys have any thoughts, any comments about this video or what I, had to say, feel free to let them down below. I just wanted to show a little bit more of my perspective on things. That was all, you guys. If you guys want to see a little bit more of my wild side or my open side, follow me on Twitter, Alva J Velasco, and also on Instagram. I also have a second Instagram that's a little bit more like personal. I post a lot of memes on there and just random shit. It's What's Up Alva. Feel free to follow me on there. And yeah, that's basically all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this answered maybe some curious questions you guys had or anything. Don't worry, to my makeup lovers, I will continue doing makeup videos as I am a makeup lover myself. And that basically sums up everything. I really appreciate every single one of you guys who is watching this video, who has subscribed, who has commented before, who has joined the giveaway. Thank you so much for being on the internet with me and like being able to inspire me in some way or another, giving me an outlet also to be able to share things with you guys. It really means a lot. Like, it means so much. The internet has helped me in a lot of ways. I know that to a lot of people it could be destructive, and I do think that the internet could be destructive at times. But for me, it's also given me a platform to allow myself to be creative in like ways that I don't know how I would have been, or I would have gone about it in a different way. It really means so much. It means a ton. And I know everyone says that, and I want to say that everyone means it, because I truly mean it. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Bye.